Well, have you ever wondered how life would have looked like being in lockdown without your phones, your laptops, and your gadgets? In short, a life devoid of technology? I wonder what your emotions must have been. Any of this? Well, to be honest enough, I cannot imagine, and I'm sure nobody can imagine getting into the lockdown without our technological devices. In fact, technology has become an integral part and parcel of all of our lives today. From ordering our food to tracing our delivery, getting our appointment with the doctor, navigating through difficult streets and locating an impossible address, to keeping in touch with our school friends of the gone by days and making new friends on social media. From posting our new baking skills and the new song that we have sung. My goodness, what can we not do on the social media platform? We use technology for anything and for everything. In fact, today we are running our corporates online successfully. We are running our school system online without any hitch. Look, amazing, perfect job that we have done. Well, having said that, I sometimes wonder how our post-COVID-19 world might look like. And I have a feeling it might just not look the same at all, because we have moved and evolved quite a bit in terms of consuming technology and using technology as well. Well, a lot has been written and said about technology, but let me assure you, not all is bad news about technology. For example, the digital technology has indeed shrunk our world to a global village. The technology that we use today has shrunk the world to a global village. And it is Thomas Friedman who said the world is flat, and I think he is indeed right. The convergence of the personal computer with fiber optic micro cable has certainly given considerable boost to the workflow all over the globe. And today, reaching your friends 7 seas apart is no big deal at all, just a click away, and with such clear video quality with no lag at all. Well, of course, gone are the days of floppy disk. Do you remember this? I still have it, just to show my children. Gone are the days of CDs or DVDs for that matter. Today, we are talking about cloud computing for that matter. A friend of mine recently said that he was successfully able to shift the entire office online, and he's been successful at it. Now, we would have never done this before, never thought about it before, but we have done it and we have proved it. We have, in fact, more conferences happening on Zoom and Uber today, connecting people from all 7 continents all at the same time, and all running successfully without no issues at all. You see, technology has changed our education as well. Music and art classes, including other subjects, are conducted via technology today. My son does his piano class on Skype. I was quite apprehensive about it initially, though. I said, well, it's like learning swimming online. But today he's doing well and the classes are successful. He's growing up in his grade and doing perfect. You see, technology also has changed the banking system for that matter. Digitally, money is transferred and can be transferred in no time to a place and location otherwise considered impossible. In short, we are today more connected than ever before. Technology has indeed shrunk the world to a global village. It has indeed shrunk the world to a global village. Well, I think technology also has contributed to a greener planet. Now, why do I say that? Look at the pollution levels all across the world today. We are in times where pollution levels are at its lowest, including a place like Delhi. Only ironical factor is that we're still wearing a mask when the pollutions have gone down. With less air and ground travel, we will not only save money, but also will certainly save our planet. Well, today, why fly in a resource person from across the globe into a conference when you can have him come online and still do the keynote address? Of course, you will have to pay him his fees though, but you're still going to save a whole lot of amount on his travel. Bingo! Because travel expenditure, it's almost about the 20 to 30% of the entire budget for a conference. Besides, the cost incurred on renting and hiring a building, maintaining a building, is going to considerably go down. In fact, has gone down as people are opting to work from home. And this money, of course, can be used for other purposes. Technology has made this possible for us. You see, technology also has accelerated efficiency. Most gadgets that we use today can do magic for us. From our handheld devices to our automated dishwasher to the doctor who performs surgery remotely with computers, planes that fly with minimum human interference, and cars that can self-drive are indeed testaments to human ingenuity. In fact, your Apple Watches will tell you way in advance before you ever have a serious health condition. Looks like they are smarter than even we are today. And to add to the above, we have cloud computing, we have machine learning, we have predictive analytics, we have business intelligence tools, and we have applications and so on and so forth. In fact, a lot more applications added every day as we continue to live and be hemmed by technology around us. And as a matter of fact, more and more tasks are performed by the computers today, and that's because of artificial intelligence. As a matter of fact, AI has captured most spheres of human life and has indeed made life more efficient, more easier, more faster, more better, and indeed more fun as well. Did you realize that our gadgets have not only become more powerful, they have become smaller in size thanks to the nanotechnology? Well, is it all about the good news when it comes to technology? I might have to break news here. There are some down parts of technology as well. First, I would think technology has indeed changed our ways of communication. It has changed the way we communicate with each other. There was a time you and I kept journals, and these journals were supposed to be secret. Nobody was supposed to see it. If anybody saw it, we would have killed that person. It was the top secretive thing. But today we do keep our journals, but they're not secretive any longer. It has to be put on the World Wide Web, and it has to be read by everybody, and people are going to comment on it, and they're going to like it as well. You see, today our intimate conversation and our communication patterns have also changed. Have you seen the post by the husband or the wife on the wedding anniversary or the birthday? The husband or the wife would say, well, you are the best wife or the best husband I would ever have had, and I love you, darling, and I want to love you, and many, many more years together. I'm kind of thinking, my goodness, in most probability, both of them woke up in the same bed that morning. They could have whispered this into each other's ears and planted a kiss on their cheek and said, well, good day. But what is the compelling need in taking the bedroom conversation over to the public space? And I would think the compelling need is called as the social feedback validation loop. You heard me right. It is called as the social feedback validation loop. Now listen to Sean Parker, the first president of Facebook, and he said this: the process that went into building these applications was all about how do we consume as much of your time and conscious attention as possible. Did you hear that? And that means we need to give you a little hit of dopamine every once in a while because someone liked or commented on a photo or a post. That's going to make you contribute more content. It's a social validation loop. It's exactly the kind of a thing a hacker would come up with. It's exploiting a vulnerability in human psychology. We understand this consciously, and we did it anyway. Well, talking about change communication patterns, as of April 2020, we have had about 4.57 billion active internet users. About 3.81 billion active social media users. There has been lots and lots and lots of people right there on the internet. You might not see them on the roads, but they are right there on the internet. Now that's a steep jump from 2.5 billion users in 2016. We have 3.81 billion active social media users today. We had a niece who had come and stayed with us. And no matter how many times we called her to come for her dinner, she would just not come. And as a last resort, we had to send a message to her on her phone saying, come, dinner is ready. And she did. Our communication patterns have completely changed, and changed because of technology. Second, I would think technology also has brought about a lot of distraction and interruption. Well, we are also called as the FOMO generation. What does FOMO stand for? FOMO stands for fear of missing out. That means the anxiety caused by the influx of information on the social media and the fear that you might be missing out on the latest happening in town. Remember how we sit in front of the news and it's called as 24/7. We want to grab the latest news out of the hot baking oven. But there are no news that are new news. They are old news happening to new people. There's nothing new under the sun. In fact, I realized that I have grown so dear to my phone that I am taking my phone even to the restroom in the fear that I might just miss out on the latest happening if I keep the phone outside and use the restroom for a little while. And I'm sure it's probably happened with you. It's happening with me a lot more nowadays. The first thing when I get up in the morning with one eye closed, with one eye open, still a bit disoriented, still under the effects of sleep, I am looking for my phone. I am just hoping that nothing has transpired when I was sleeping, and I want to catch up on the best thing and all of the news possible on all social media platforms. I'm sure some of us are sleeping with our phones. Have you noticed we rarely step out of our homes without our phones? It's always there with us. In fact, we cannot concentrate on one thing more than a few minutes. In fact, if the phone doesn't ring for about 5 minutes, we wonder if anything has gone wrong to the phone. Why isn't anybody calling us? Why isn't anybody texting us? To the effect, my dear wife recently said, looks like that I'm married to the phone and not to her. And I, in introspection, realized that's 100% true. I've been off late, just been found with my phone, fidgeting and looking into it, even when nobody was trying to reach out to me. You see, we are a highly distracted generation, and the sad part is we have accepted distractions and interruptions as the new normal, and we call it as multitasking. We have accepted distractions as the new normal, and we call it multitasking. You see, the internet does not encourage still, focused, unbroken attention to a single object. It does not. We are the most distracted, interrupted generation. In fact, interruption is rather welcomed today than objected at. Third, I would think, because of technology, we are lonelier than ever. We are lonelier than ever. You see, you go on Facebook and stay there for just about 15 minutes, and by the time you're coming off the Facebook, you're probably coming out with a sinking feeling of despair and loneliness and depression, for that matter. I'm sure it's just not me. Everybody goes through that. You know why? Because you are probably thinking everybody else in the world is having fun. They're having the best of their times. You're the only one who is missing out on life, and oh, pity you. Remember that weird sinking feeling of despair? In fact, Facebook is also have said to be one of the causes of people losing hope and leading to a lot more depression out in the world. Well, what does that mean? Today we are more connected than ever before, but we are lonelier than ever before. We are connected than ever before, but we are also lonelier than ever before. You see, social networking sites are promising us to connect to our friends, but what we're actually witnessing is a portrait of a lonely, dislocated generation. A lonely, dislocated generation. So what is the message? We long for connections. Yes, we do as human beings. We long for connections. But technological connections does not seem to meet that need at all. Fourth, I think digital technology has led to personal reductionism. Now, what do I mean by personal reductionism? The meaning of personhood is reduced by the illusions of bits and categories. We organize ourselves into categories today, into lists and choices. Did you know dataism is the new religion in town? We as human beings are merely seen as algorithms and nothing else. In fact, Yuval Harari predicts that eventually humans will give algorithms the authority to make the most important decisions in their lives, such as whom to marry, which career to pursue. It is, in fact, the transhumanist utopia, so to say. We are not seen as persons any longer. We are seen as data to be decoded. So what is the verdict? Should we throw away our technology and our gadgets? No. Keep them. Don't throw them away. You see, technology is a moral thing. That means it is least concerned about the rightness or the wrongness of something. That means technology is neutral. But you as a person is a moral entity concerned with the rightness or the wrongness of something. You are a moral entity concerned with the rightness or the wrongness of something, and you are the one using the technology, which in itself is neutral. So that means it is up to me to decide, and it is up to you to decide how you consume technology. And it is not for technology to decide what it does to us. It is Francis Bacon who said, money is a good servant, but a bad master. And I think that could be extrapolated to technology as well. Technology is a good servant, but a bad, horrible master. And I think the stats on pornography will tell you that. Did you also know that the digital technology is also addictive, highly addictive? It seems to affect the pleasure center of the brain, triggering a release of dopamine to promote the pleasurable experience, activating the release of this chemical. So what can be done then? I would think first we must recognize that the technology we are making are changing us. Technology we are making are changing us. I mean, go to any coffee day, go to any Starbucks and look at the number of people holding their cup of coffee and yet with their heads butted into their phones. Technology is definitely shaping us and changing us. Second, technology is taking us to places we don't necessarily want to go. It is taking us to places you and I does not necessarily want to go. Third, technology is changing the way we live, how we view ourselves, and how we understand friendship and how we relate to God. So then, how do we manage technology at all? I think it is Andy Crouch in his book, The Tech-Wise Family, who would say, for any gadget, ask yourself, is this in the proper place? For any gadget, ask this question, is this in the proper place? For example, TV in the bedroom is a sure disaster. You should never have it. It's a gadget not in its proper place. And I would think phone, is it in the bedroom? Is it in the right place? Is the gadget in its proper place? Instead of aimlessly sitting in front of a gadget, which has become, of course, the favorite pastime today, create memories with people around you. Play together with your children, cycle with them, cycle with your spouse. See, we as a family have begun playing a lot of board games and we thoroughly enjoy it. Sing together instead of streaming a song on a device. Believe me, singing together, coming together, putting your voices together, you don't have to be good singers, but just coming together can create a lot of wonderful memories for sure. Resist the temptation to pull your phone out while dining out or dining in your house, I would think. It is quite a bit of a temptation. It's very hard. I have fallen prey to it many times. I still fall prey to it. Every time we go out to eat, conversations would begin. And then, there's this lull, right? And you quickly pull out. Again, fear of missing out. Is there anything that has happened in the world that I'm not aware about? And everybody in no time is on the phone. Next time, catch yourself on the phone and tell yourself, no, I'm enjoying the conversation and the food at the same time. Resist the temptation of making peace with your child by giving your phone. Now, I've seen this repeated so many times in the church, in restaurant, in public spaces, when children would throw tantrum, and just to make peace with them and to keep them calm, parents would pick out the phone and give it into their hands and say, just now, keep quiet. Enjoy whatever you want to enjoy, do whatever you want to do, but just don't disturb us as parents. Let's do what we ought to do now. Do not do that. That is absolutely dangerous. Resist that temptation. Take time off the screen. What do I mean? Fast from the screen. Let's say take a half day off, perhaps even to a full 1 day off from the screen. And believe me, the world wouldn't fall apart. The world would be still the same. Nothing would happen. Practice going off your phone regularly. Even try avoid your headphones for that matter. Just don't listen to anything. Keep your phone far away. When we go to my wife's place, the place is surrounded by mountains. There are no signals that come in and there's no connectivity, and my phone's switched off. And I've realized my battery life extends up to about 5 days. I've never had 5 days of battery life. But I have enjoyed that time just with the family and with people around, enjoying the mountainside, enjoying trekking and watching the birds, because I can't do much on the phone because there is no connectivity at all. Take time off the screen and enjoy life all by yourself or with people around you. Talk to real people. instead of talking to people virtually. Talk to real people. You probably heard the joke of a pastor who was conducting the burial of a man in his church. And as the burial was conducted, there were hardly any people, just about 2 or 3 people who had come for his burial. He turned to his wife and said, "I thought he had so many friends." And the wife said, "Yes, pastor, but all on social networking sites." That's a sad case, isn't it? Have real people around you. We are real people who need to communicate with real people. Make friends with people around you. So even as you go about today, don't just chat on the social media networks. I mean, of course, do that. But more than that, chat with real people around you, including your spouse and your children who are right next to you. Well, if you ask me, are these steps mentioned easy to implement? I would think no. I would say going to the moon and coming back is much easier than doing any of this. But I would think it is not impossible. You see, before technology shapes us, we have to shape ourselves. Otherwise, we would be overpowered by the power of technology and by the power of the digital world around us, and we will miss out a beautiful world around us. You see, life is short. Life is brief. Do not let it go by. Enjoy not only through the lenses of your camera, but enjoy through the lenses God has given you, the beautiful nature that He has put all around us. You know, I was impacted by a time when Kevin was just about small, and he was just about 3, I guess, barely 3, I would think. And we were playing, and I got the call on my phone, and the phone started ringing. And this little boy started tugging on my trousers, and he started saying, "Dada, no phone. Son time, no phone." It just broke my heart. I said, how does this little boy just that age would know that it is his time? He just loved playing with his dad, and he realized that if I pick up the call, I'm going to stop playing with him and probably be distracted. And all that he would say is, "Dada, no phone, son time." And I said, "God, please forgive me. Help me not to be indifferent to people around me." Have I committed the mistake of being on phone and celebrating my phone so much than people around me? Of course, yes, many times. Even today, I would think. But we all have to eventually overcome it by being conscious about it. Do not be shaped by technology, but become shapers of technology. Do not just become consumers of technology. Consume it appropriately and in the right manner so that it adds value to your life and to the lives that are around you. Thank you very much.